Hello, I'm Henry Webb, Superintendent of the Kenton County School System. Team Kenton and our extended family and our 14,000 plus amazing kids, thank you as we're off to an amazing 2022 school year. Our work all across our district is focused on teaching and learning, and all reports indicate we're having an amazing year. Thank you. We also know that we continue to deal with COVID-19. For over a year and a half now, it's been something we've all had to deal with. Like you, many of us were relieved this summer when it seemed that we were reaching some sense of normalcy. And then the Delta variant came along. As you know, when school began to start, we were recommending masking for everyone. We were making this a recommendation at that time due to our experience this summer. We had summer school where our students and staff were unmasked, and we didn't have any issues. So that was, once again, that was the reason for our recommendation. At that time, the governor put a mandate in place mandating masks. Shortly after, the Kentucky Board of Education approved a regulation that also required masks. And as many of you know, late last night, a new law was put in place in Kentucky, shifting the decision making on masking back to the local level. Now, the legislation also addressed some other flexibilities that were very beneficial to school districts. But for the purpose of this video, I want to talk to you about masking, where we're going with our dashboard here in Kenton County. But before I do that, I just want to say a couple of things about how we arrived at our dashboard. Please know we continue consistently and constantly looking at data in our school district. We look at all kinds of data. We look at positivity rates, which currently we're 45.7 cases per 100,000 here in Kenton County. We look at positivity rates, and unfortunately I share with you on this video that in the last 2 weeks we've had 240 new positive cases, which is the highest 2 weeks since we've been tracking data in the last 20 months. Also, we track quarantines. Once again, unfortunately, we've had 1,214 new quarantines in the last 2 weeks, which is by far the highest we've had in the last 18 to 20 months since we've been dealing with COVID. Also, we track hospitalization rates. We track Terrace metrics data, which measures social emotional support and issues for our students. We obviously track academic data. And we also have started paying attention to school closures all across Kentucky like we know you are. So I share all this to say we look at a lot of data to inform our dashboard and our decisions here in Kenton County to make sure we make the best decisions for our staff, our students, our families, and our community. Team, one other very important piece of information we look at is vaccination rates. And I'm going to once again encourage everyone to be vaccinated. In Kenton County, on the CDC's website, ages 12 and up, we have 74% of our eligible individuals with at least one dose of the vaccination. I am happy to tell you that that's one of the highest in the state of Kentucky, but we need to do more, and I hope you will consider the vaccine if you haven't already. So what does all this data mean for Kenton County? I hope you agree, regardless of how you feel about masking, and I do know it's a divisive issue. There's a lot of people that do like masking. There's a lot of people who do not like masking. But I trust we can all agree that we all want our kids in school learning each and every day. As a result, our dashboard will reflect decisions to keep our kids in-person learning. Because what I want everyone to understand, with the requirements for contact tracing and quarantining individuals, that 1,214 number I spoke to you about just a couple seconds ago would be 3,000 to 4,000 to 5,000 without mask on. So now let's talk about our dashboard. Our dashboard is designed to measure incident rates by zip code. We're measuring zip codes in our district. Schools that exist in our zip codes, we'll make those decisions on those schools in our zip codes so we can be more specific, just as we did last year when we were testing. As we may have an outbreak in one area of the county that may not impact another area of the county. But right now, we were all in the red category, which is substantial transmission. But let's start with the green and yellow categories. When we're in green and yellow, which we hope to be back to in the very near future, all the Kentucky Department of Education and the Department of Public Health guidelines that are recommended will be recommended here in Kenton County. Anything required will obviously be required. When we're in the orange level, students in P5 will be required to wear a mask. Students in grades 6 through 12 and all corresponding activities will be mask recommended. All other Department of Education and Department of Public Health guidelines that are recommended will be recommended. Outdoors, masking will be recommended, and those same areas of Kentucky Department of Education, Kentucky Board of Education will be recommended. When we get to red, where we all are right now, masks are required for everyone, P through 12, and all staff. Staff will also be required in the orange category. It is important to know we need all of our staff in the orange and red to wear a mask because we need everybody at school every day to make sure we can have in-person learning. Now, I know many of you may not like to hear that we are going to mask in the red, but once again, I ask you to think about keeping kids in in-person learning because that is our focus. So, Team Kenton, we have worked through the last 18 months to lay out dashboards for our community to know exactly where we are, to know how we're going to make decisions, and once again, we developed a dashboard. This dashboard has been shared with our principals, has been shared with KCEA, and has been shared with the local health department. We will continue to make changes to our dashboard as we get new information. For example, if our Test to Stay program goes extremely well and we're able to add more kids to that pool, we will make adjustments accordingly to our dashboard. Maybe it gives us more flexibility in the orange and red areas. But right now, everybody's required to wear a mask in the red. In closing, team, once again, regardless of how we feel about masking, and I know there's some strong, passionate feelings about masking, I'm asking, as the superintendent of Kenton County Schools, for our team and our community to come together for our kids and support keeping our kids in school and supporting our data matrix. Because together, remember, we are strong, and we will get through this, and we will get through it together. Thank you.